I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And welcome everybody. Thanks for coming. We have a forum, I believe. We'll find out in a second. Before we start, we got some new people in the room. Our new employee, Nicole Barber.
Hello.
Has joined us since last week. Nicole, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm originally from Little Falls, live outside of Little Falls now. My husband's Dustin Barber, I have a daughter. And
Congratulations, welcome. And
She liked long walks in the park, you know,
Yes.
the
romance novel.
cherry
All of
sorbet.
Well, welcome. And
Thank
if you
you.
need anything at all, please don't
Ask
feel
Jimmy.
free to ask.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
We also have our new college president, Terry Day, Dr. Terry Day. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you. Good morning. So happy to see all of you and can't wait to be in person for next month. This Zoom thing is getting old from Nashville, so glad to be here.
Thank you. We look forward to it. All right, let's start with a roll call.
He was here at our last.
Were you here at our last meeting too? I'm sorry. Okay.
50%.
I didn't want you to pass over the,
Oh, Benny's gonna make herself.
you were,
known
I
in a
guess,
short
so.
time.
All right, let's start with a roll call, please.
Albrecht.
Here.
Badlow. Day.
Here.
Gurecki.
Here.
Bono.
Here.
Mendel.
Here.
Davenport. We have a quorum.
Okay, very good. I'll ask Aaron to read our mission statement, please.
The mission of the Herkimer County Industrial Development Agency is to deliver economic incentives to businesses and industries to diversify and strengthen Herkimer County's tax base and enhance community vitality by supporting job creation, housing, business and industrial development, and community revitalization. We strive to develop the local economy in an organized, sustainable, and environmentally beneficial manner.
Good, thank you. Item number 4, the minutes for the June 24th regular board meeting were sent to you in your packet. Is there any corrections, additions, deletions, or comments on those? Hearing none, I need a motion to accept. Tim, second. Corey, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay? Carried. Item 5, June financial reports, pages 6 through 11. Are we getting any comments, John? Do you have any statements or comments?
Sure, we're still in great financial shape. You'll notice some, under net operating in June, some of the numbers seem a little skewed. Myself and Victoria have been talking about that. That's due to the grants going in and out, the payments that we get in. So, for example, we're doing the assessment, feasibility study on Remington. That's $180,000 that we pay out to the vendor when the project's done. We'll get reimbursed completely from the state on that. In fact, we received an email about that yesterday. We should be finishing up that study within the next 2 weeks anyways. So those are the things that happen a lot this time of year with our different grants throughout the county, with different places that we help. We pay it out and then we get it reimbursed.
Comments, questions?
The question I have, is there any thing that's going to close the gap in over half the way through the year? Is there a
Project?
grant that, right, is there grants that are pending or projects that are?
There's several projects we'll talk about today then this year. So yeah, we'll see that jump big up. If you don't mind, I'll get into them when I do the updates, all the projects. But
That's fine. I just
there's-
don't recall the budget and when everything.
It's so, some of them were supposed to happen already, but you know how they get pushed out. A few more came in. So, I mean, we'll end up well above again, just with the way that the things are going right now. But thank you.
Any comments, questions? Need a motion to accept financials. Corey, second. Tim, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay? Carried.
This guy, this is part of the just gives an update on it. We haven't changed that at all right now.
Okay, item 6, Michael Enterprise Grant, update Victoria.
Yes. As we were discussing at our last meeting, we did have an update call with the Office of Homes and Community Renewal regarding the program design plan for the Herkimer County Micro Enterprise Grant. We were successful in changing or updating the program guidelines to allocate up to $35,000 per employee, opposed to the 14,000 per business that has already been awarded, opposed to the $14,000 that was allowed before. So previously, if the owner was not of low to moderate income, they had to add one full-time position per $7,000 in grant funding that they received. That this new revised plan allows for $35,000 for one full-time position created. If the owner was low to moderate income, they were eligible to receive the $14,000, as I mentioned. The revised plan allows for $35,000 increase. They did, Homes and Community Renewal suggested that we reach out to businesses that have previously been awarded to see if they have any additional need. And I'm in the process of working with those companies. You will see one on your agenda today, Susie Q. She has already spent the money, so Homes and Community Renewal stated that we could increase her award without her needing to spend any additional money. Since our last meeting, I did receive funds and dispersed to AVOT, and a disbursement request has been submitted for Sherwood. As for a recap, we have a total grant of $255,000. We have approved $150,000 to date, and the remaining balance is $105,000. If those awarded, those that have previously been awarded, take that additional $21,000, that would exhaust remaining funds in the grant.
We believe that HCR came back to us with this specifically to make sure that we would hit the number in the time frame they wanted us to. So not opposed to any of it, and it gives some of these smaller business a better opportunity to continue to grow. You know, we've seen the growth at Susie Q, another one, Juliana Farms, several other ones too that have spent the money over what they committed to, over than what they needed to see. So it's been a good program. I don't think we'll apply for another one right away. I think we'll give it a little time, especially since the poll's just starting. You know, we need to, we have a few other grants going on right now, so this might be better just to hold off, and maybe next year we'll come back and say, okay, it's time to do it. I know HCR really wants us to, but we need to take a break.
Anything else, Victoria?
That's it.
Very good. We need to, if you want to
Susan Hughes for
Susie first. Mhm.
Need a motion on that,
So I don't know if everybody had a chance to see it, maybe we could just talk about it real quick. So Susie Hughes was formerly Mrs. Shakes in Mohawk. She's done a lot of upgrades to her facility. She's actually added quite a few kids. She's actually increased her hours. You get a chance to go over there. She also will be winning Woman-Owned Small Business of the Year through the Small Business Development Center. We'll get that out for August 14th at 2 p.m. at her facility over there. She's really done a lot to help that community, plus women-owned small businesses all around. So it's an excellent opportunity to continue and help her grow with this grant opportunity. And it's an additional, how much, Victoria?
21,000. So she's already spent $40,269 on equipment for her business. Therefore, we're able to increase her award without her spending any additional money to add equity into the project.
Okay, there's some details. Any questions? Tim, second. Lori, any discussion? All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Carried. And Juliana Farms, it's on page.
I don't know, is it in there?
There's not anything. I just spoke with him at 3:30 yesterday afternoon, so it was a very late addition to the agenda. He has purchased the tractor for $38,000, and he was previously awarded $14,000. He is making payments on that tractor. And every month he submits the paid receipt to me. We, hold them until he gets up to enough to do a second drawdown. But being that we are able to increase this, he is willing to make a one-time lump sum payment on that tractor to pay off the remaining balance that is due in order to receive an increase in funds in the micro enterprise grant.
We got that? Question? Yeah, that was approved. Not approved, no.
No, this
No,
She just heard about it 3:30 yesterday, and the one that you approved was Suzy Q. That was the one. Yeah, so Suzy Q's a nice one.
Yeah, we had talked about you. Okay.
Do
All
we
right.
need any additional information to approve that request?
I have
At this
not,
time?
I need to still speak with Lindsay at Homes and Community Renewal, so I advised, Joe Giuliano to hold off based on our conversations at the board meeting today. And after the meeting today, I intend to reach out to Lindsay to make sure that everything is clear to move forward.
Do you want to just
I
look
think
to
we
approve
can-
it subject to
Yeah,
HCR's
approval.
approval? That-
Yeah. That'll work fine.
All right, so the motion would be, Tim, to, with subject to approve.
By HCR.
Second, you're good with that, Brian? Discussion further? All in favor, aye? Any opposed, nay? Carried. Item 7, on marketing update, Aaron, what do you got?
So I made a presentation for John for Chicago. Is that next week?
Next week,
Next week he's going to Chicago. So I'm not gonna go through the whole PowerPoint, but that's the gist of it. There's Remington Arms, Chips, gas station, and the Brownfield Center. And then we got more pictures from Dave and videos, which I will update the website with. That's the sign I need.
how we did clean those weeds up after I said, what the hell are those weeds doing on the fence?
John, is this a competition based one again, or is it just straight? You're saying-
Oh, no, I was asked to speak,
Yeah.
so, no, that
There's no big-
rodeo is again, but we didn't sign up.
Thanks, Clifford. All right, item 8, the Aldridge trucking, there's a sales tax exemption, 13 to 14. They just,
Yeah, he's looking for an extension, and in there's your letter asking for the 6-month extension. Some of the things they weren't able to get finished up in the time frame of their contract with us. We've done this in the past too. He's really cleaned up the site, really made it attractive. Also working with a lot of other tenants in the park to help them clean up things as well. So we highly recommend that. Yeah,
any, I mean, need a motion. All right. 10. Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
That's good.
All in favor, aye? Any opposed, nay? Carried. Item number 9, the Herkimer water, which are proposed work from Wright Pierce. John?
So the, part of the, village's, water system is some wells that are located in the village itself. We've helped other communities do different studies on their infrastructure that would help us out economically, develop different things, whether it be housing or, other hospitality, manufacturing, whatever, within not only the village. Herkimer does supply water to, across the bridge over to Fort Herkimer, Manning Heights. It supplies water to East Herkimer. So we feel as though this project would benefit us too, to help support this study on those wells. It's a $50,000 study that'll get them to the point where then they would have to look to their system to do it. put it into their actual water system over there. We feel it's important to continue to grow this area, especially with the BOA, with what we're doing downtown. Our countywide BOA coming into play now too. The county's here, we're here, the college is here, we all need good water. So it makes sense to establish this project. It's no different than some of the studies we did like in Dodgeville for the water tank and what we've done in Skyler with the water tower.
That's for 48,000.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, not to exceed. Sorry.
All right, so we, again, like John said, we've done these before. Okay, Mr. Flavor. Motion by Mr. Zay, second by Mr. Albrecht. Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Carried. All right, next few items are discussion, pretty much, Skyler Business Park, number 10, John, the entryway and Sidney, we had a meeting the other day.
I would like you to give an update on.
No, that's why
You were
I
you were a
hate
huge
you.
participant at that meeting. So we were fortunate enough to have a meeting the other day with Delta in Carver, the construction firm that was hired to do the project. Things are going very smoothly there. One of the things that was great, DOT seems to be willing to work with us. One of the gentlemen who does the inspections used to work for the county. Jim, how do you say his last name? Right, yeah, I know, I'm not saying it, I'm sorry, but a real good guy. He was at the site. He goes there almost every day. So light poles are 26 to 48 weeks out. So we were gonna have to put in about $50,000 worth of temporary lights. The state came back after Delta developed the plan that we can put in just stop signs for now, and they were okay with that, so that saved us a bunch of money. Also, DOT has been working with Delta and the convenience store and came up with a solution for their entrance and exit onto drive-in roads, so that's all been solved. We also talked about at the corner of drive-in and Diamond Drive, there's an issue with that turn there, so while Carver's here with their equipment, they're gonna expand that turn lane better, so trucks coming onto drive-in to pull out will have a better turn radius there. Everything's going good with them. Believe it or not, like the lead people for Carver live in Dodgeville. I didn't know that, so it's been working out very well for us over there. So we're gonna save some money right now, the way it looks. So very good. We're very happy about that for the entrance. The water tower bids went out. Right now, we've had quite a few questions. 5 premier water tower companies have asked questions, so we're very excited about that. We were worried that when we put it out now, that everybody would be too busy and we wouldn't get good responses, but we're feeling very strongly about this, that they're planning for next year, and we're happy about this. So this will be a 500,000 gallon water tank that we put up in the town of Skyler. After it's all installed, we have grant money that we received through Fast New York for this, as well as the entrance. Plus one of our other grants, the Northern Border Grant, we're hoping, and we should know this week, to get $1 million of that switched over to this project as well. So that'll definitely assist us there too. We also had a meeting with the town of Skyler and the Water Authority. What additional line could we possibly run because of having that 500,000 additional gallon support in Skyler? So everybody's doing some due diligence now, and then we'll hold a workshop with Skyler. Maybe we can run that pipe down almost to the town of Herkimer line and do some more development along Route 5. So we're excited to take a look at that. And then parcel J, he agreed to the price that we quoted him. He wants to walk it and get with his attorney to write us the purchase sale agreement. That'll happen most likely this month. So it's about 2.5 acres. We went in at 5,000 an acre. On there currently is an older metal type structure. I'm not going to call it a barn, a corn crib and a silo, and he'll remove all of those.
Remind me of parcel J.
It's the one that goes to next to the woman's house.
Oh, over.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it goes by Wilcor.
Yeah.
It's the original road that we got into the park with, remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so we
It's
didn't,
in reference that it's J.
yeah, we didn't need it anymore. Why he'll put it back on the tax rolls and clean it up and make it look nice. So we're just moving well ahead with Skylar.
John, what was that total award for Fast New York again? You've had that. for a
Four
while.
point,
Three.
4.3 million.
Is there a time when that those dollars have to be spent by?
Well, the problem has been with Empire State Development and the Department of Health and Department of Transportation. So they have not held us hostage
Yeah.
to any of that.
Yeah.
But now it seems like all of a sudden, things are opening up everywhere. I think Department of Transportation and the roads got some additional support, which I think was needed for a long time. Health, the gentleman who slowed everything down has since retired, so that's opened some things up. We did a report for the Department of Health in a month. 2 months later, he came back and all he did was change some spelling and grammatical errors in there. And we said, well, what about the content? Oh, I didn't get to that yet. So that's what we were dealing with the Department of Health. So he is gone now, and so things have definitely speeded up there.
Okay.
So Skylar, and then the remaining 60 acres, we've showed that a couple times in the past month with the, what's the name? What name did they go back for that property? Venture or something? I can't think of the name of it. It's high, it's Cuba Brewer, but they have a separate holding company. So we've been really showing that property again. So there's some big life to that right now, both because of Empire State Development and Go Semi and NYSERDA.
Okay, let's move on to the Bear.
Yeah, I am, unless anybody has more questions about the Skylar business. And the gas station is doing phenomenal. I don't know if anybody, the pricing is great. The people from Carver can't believe, the ones that drive in from other areas can't believe how expensive the gas is. Everybody loves the chicken. It's doing really good on the business.
The answer with the entryway timeline.
Oh, the new timeline for it? So the only thing that's gonna hold us up on the entryway timeline will be the poles. Everything will be done pretty much, I think, within a couple more weeks from our last meeting, because they've already put in all the expansion on 5 and everything. They just can't put the lights up. So that'll be the problem. So we won't see that. We won't see those lights, I anticipate, not until probably January, February. But we haven't seen any issues with all the construction going on there either. It's been, people have been very alert of what's been going on. So, and we won't see the signs go up for the lights ahead until the lights go up. So there's a lot of signage just waiting to go, but they won't put up anything until the lights are there. I think I'm good.
Let's go to the other business partners, the Four Corners.
Okay, couple of things too. We've had several meetings with National Grid and other people very interested in the property. There's 2 115 kV lines that can pretty much generate about 180 megawatts of power. Plus there's another 48 kV we can tap into if we need to. Still working with the one company that has an interest in the entire park. I was hoping Tony was jumping on just to see if they reached out to him. We're supposed to get a purchase sale agreement. We haven't yet. There's another local company looking for 150,000 square foot, kind of like just dry warehouse, no heat, no air, little office type thing. Another one of our developers has put in with that company and said, we can have this built for you by the first quarter of next year. If we get the agreement by the end of this month, and we'll chip away a part for them in that park if that's the case. Also, this week alone, 2 other developers have reached out about the capabilities of that park. And we're still talking with an original developer from a couple months ago that wants to build a 200,000 square foot warehouse there. We have no purchase and sale agreement, so I'm not committing to anyone yet. Once we get those, we'll bring it in front of the board and see where we go. I'm still, I talked to some people in the IDA world and said, look, if you had an opportunity to sell the entire park, but they weren't going to develop the whole thing for a couple of years, what you would do? And 3 out of the 4 said I'm stupid not to take the deal. So, but it's hard to say because what can we do? What else can we do there? We have some great opportunity. We're getting a ton of look-see. So lots of look-sees. And it's the same company still interested, hopefully.
Okay. It's the scoop. Item 12, brownfield opportunity. Let's go to the village of Mill.
So the Village of Ilion, which we asked for your guys' approval a couple meetings ago, we submitted that application. Actually had a great conversation with the Department of State yesterday. Not only our direct rep, but their boss. And it looks very good that we'll have that opportunity to work on the BOA for the Village of the Village of Ilion, which will encompass the marina, Dual Fold and Remington, go down to the Motel 6. Some big area in there that we can help really repurpose that area. Village of Herkimer, we're almost done. We have a few more environmental sites to look at. We're gonna have a meeting coming up here. Victoria, that's in August, right? And it's gonna be at the old Green Street Cafe or Dr. Kirkpatrick's office. We're gonna have it catered and invite people in to see what the development plans are for the street. We have a pro forma for the old Palmer House. We have a pro forma for the couple of buildings on the 100 block of South Main Street there, or North Main Street, but the southern end of it. Then we also have a pro forma for the DEC building as well. So just so you can see how that would work out. And really the numbers work for the Palmer House. If some developer wants to come in there and really convert it over, the numbers do work. So we'll have all of that there. Our county-wide BOA, which we were the first county in the state to get, we will be starting that tomorrow is our kickoff meeting. We hired Labella to handle that, and they're using some other consultants with them who we've worked with in the past too. So we're excited to see where that inventory lies. We'll also be working and get all that data to the land bank and everyone else. So we feel as though it'll be a strong connection there to move us on to see what other communities we can do a BOA with. And for those of you who don't know what a BOA is, we've invited Vinnie Cassell here today to speak in her loud voice and tell us all what that is.
A BOA or Brownfield Opportunity Area is a designated area that is often contaminated or perceived to be contaminated that a community plans to redevelop. Through the Department of State's BOA grant program, a nomination study is submitted with the goal of becoming designated. As a result of being designated, we can get incentives that include pre-development funding to support implementation activities that will advance goals for revitalization and redevelopment. And this includes studies, site designs, reports, and market analysis. Tax credits, which is an increase of 5% tangible property tax credits to encourage redevelopment. Tangible tax credits for tax benefits that include movable assets like machinery or vehicles. Community endorsement and predictability to provide added incentives for investors to propose projects that show the community's collective vision and willingness to risk with the investment. Some of the incentives would be faster, smoother approvals, state agency help and access to funding, and lastly, priority to receive priority and preference in state grant programs.
There will be a quiz at the end of our meeting today. So the BOA is very important. We're one of the few counties that really do a lot with the BOA opportunities. The sales or the tax incentives on real property does help out as well. What's good about the Herkimer BOA is it's in an opportunity zone that can also be used for other types of support for capital gains down the road. So we see some great opportunities with their BOAs.
So the countywide, we've never done a countywide.
The state has never done
The state is.
We're the first one that they awarded that to. So it's gonna be basic, I'm sorry, what? No, it's basically gonna be an inventory type process for this one, which will allow us, once it's a designated county is gonna be unique. They haven't quite figured out how they're gonna do that. So we'll figure it out.
All right, item 13, a budget workshop. As you know, the budget season's right around the corner. In order to get ready for that, we probably should have a workshop. John, what do you figure August?
August 14th at 8 AM. That's what I was figuring, but that depends on everybody else.
It works for everybody.
It's a Thursday morning, right, Victoria? 8 AM.
Problems or whatever. Let staff know.
So just, and we'll get that out to everybody too, but we just want, it'll be just like for Frank, were you here last year for a budget workshop? So what it is we go through the line items, we talk about where we spend our money. And how we're looking forward to what we have coming in next year. The county requests it by the end of August, our budget. So that's why we do it so early. Even though our year is January 1.
All right, item 14, Charlestown, the MOU.
Was it in their packet?
Yes.
So some great discussions the other day with the EPA. For those of you who don't know, Charlestown, just the Herkimer County portion, but we did include the small portion in the front that's owned by Gaetano, even though I haven't heard back from him yet, I haven't pushed him, but I did present him with the $20,000 offer for that property. We got with the EPA, their attorneys, they agreed that they would charge us $10,000 for the Charlestown property. And then when we had that under an IDA project, we would owe them an additional $10,000. So the way I'm looking at this, we received a grant from the EPA today of $13,980,000. That's the way I'm looking at that project right there. Now, the good and bad of it all, we will have 150 EPA eyes on us for the next year or two, seeing what we do with this project. But if we show them what we can do, it could be something fantastic. At that site right now, they have the capability of about 200 megawatts of power. So there's a lot of opportunity there for different things with that. I am meeting with the developer on that topic in the next couple of weeks, possibly at the conference next week. We also can do some small scale retail battery storage at the site. We can also do some warehousing. Last week we had HRP and drillers there doing a lot of sampling to see where we are with ground contamination. We did some water sampling in that small pond. We're pretty confident that there's no migration off the site because the DEC just did a huge remediation down at the bottom of the site along Route 5S. We also did receive a National Grid grant. How much, Victoria?
25% of the 70,000. It's 70,000.
It was roughly that, yeah. Yeah, that was last, but we only asked for 50, because we'll get the rest in grant. I think it's less than 7, or maybe we added to it because of the additional testing or something. So what happens is there's a standard test that we meet, the standard test that we do normally for phase 2. But the DEC, this has been one of their target sites, so they asked us to do a few additional tests. And it's really not drilling anything extra or sampling anything extra. It's when it gets to the lab, they run some additional tests and that cost a few dollars. So we got permission to go on the site. There's 4 or 5 entrances. We re-padlocked it with our keys. We have all of that. The pond had a different gate system around. We locked all that. We confirmed with, like I said, the EPA, only the Herkimer site is what we're taking. Everything went good with that. So today we're looking for you to support the and vote yes on the MOU for the Charlestown site.
What's going on with the Olympic County side? Does that at all impact what we're doing here? I know the road is pretty much the street rather than the line.
So there's ours, there's a limbo piece, and then there's Gaetano. Gaetano got his part back just on the other side of the road. It goes all the way up. So he's gotten his side back. The road might just stay with Oneida County. We don't know. And then ours is.
Okay, so on the other side, it's not really any.
No,
I didn't think so, but I wasn't sure if I had any sort of impact.
the great thing is all the power's on our side.
Okay,
So
we need a motion for the MOU.
I think we can do roll call too for that.
Yeah, thank you. Frank, second discussion. All right, call roll, please.
Albert,
Yes.
Basil, Day,
Yes.
Moretti,
Yes.
Bono,
Yes.
Mendel,
Yes.
Davenport.
Item 15, the group goals.
So and we talked about, geez, probably 3 months now, after the structures were taken down, the one by the storm and the other by the deconstruction company there. The new buyer, which there is a new purchase sale agreement, it's the same buyer, just a purchase sale agreement. We asked for more money for it. Wanted to make sure the historic tax credits were still in play. After bringing back Kim Alvarez as we did before, we got to a certain point and now she has to do additional work with SHPO and with National Parks and Rec to make sure this can go. To date, she spent about 5,000 something, so we need approval for that. But I was thinking we should ask for approval up to 10,000 right now, because there will be some additional work. What that allows the site to have for the remaining buildings, which is the front building on Spruce Street and the power station, historic tax credits, which those buildings could definitely be rehabbed, and there is potential there. And we've also been marketing the site with a potential owner. We have someone very interested in about 110,000 square foot building on the site. And then another one looking at roughly 30 to 40,000 square. So that site probably will be filled. My hopes would be, that they'll have commitments and everything will be moving ahead by, I'm gonna say January. We'll know if we're in the brownfield cleanup program for that site. We're putting all the documentation now with them, and HRP should be submitting within 1 or 2 weeks. So let us know. I've worked with the governor's office. There's a $50,000 fee for that. I've worked with the governor's office to get that removed from the site. So they're pretty confident that they would have to pay $50,000.
What can the award be for the brownfield cleanup program, for the maximum?
It's the credits, it goes towards percentage of credits on what the demolition costs would be, or the cleanup cost, I should say. So if they keep that building, but they clean up all the rest of the site, you're gonna have to remove some soil too and everything. I would say on that site, you're probably looking at 40 million. 13 acres roughly. 13 roughly. You need power though, right? That's the key. 4 or 5 cents a kilowatt. It's just crazy. Yeah, to extend her and get the Kim Alvarez land and so.
Question? Any more? Mr. Day. Second, discussion. All in favor, aye. Any opposed, nay. Carried. Last item on the regular agenda is the Eastern Mohawk Valley Water Line project. We're going to go to executive session. There's some legal concerns there. And advice on that. Welcome elected officials. Mr. Walter, any comments?
No, just, excited for the IDA's little prosperous, 2026. They sound like train is on the track still, and we'll move right along. Do a nice job, John. Thanks for it.
Thank you.
Is that?
Okay, let's go to project updates. Oh, yeah, Dr. Day, would you like to have any comments?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, would you like to make any comments? We allow.
Oh. No, I am just so excited at all the work that you all are doing, and can't wait to be a part of the team. So I will see you hopefully in person next month.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Project updates, John?
Sure. Final tax roll updates. Herkimer Solar, there's still a little hiccup there. JBF Stainless though has taken off of low section 8, right, Victoria?
Correct.
And Tractor Supply still at the same number, so we're not sure where that one sits. but we just wanted to let you all know that Herkimer Solar, that's, believe it or not, Herkimer Solar's in the town of Frankfurt, and we working with them diligently to get that put on Rose Section 8, so it can be done properly, and it hasn't that, so we wanted to give you an update there. Even though it's, the US EPA sent us a review audit, it's quite a bit of pages and documentation. We had our first meeting yesterday. We're gonna have to update some policies, not that we don't conform with the IDA policies, but the federal government has added some additional things that we'll need to do. We're gonna get those out to you within the next week. Look for your email approval and then we'll ratify it the next meeting. But it's important because of the audit review. We do things with a lot of checks and balances. It's just not the exact way that they want it. Meets all of the IDA and New York State rules. However, once again, the feds have a little different. They just picked us out of the blue. We had a great meeting with them yesterday. Victoria, don't you agree? Very helpful. Had some questions on a pre-audit. They don't call it an audit, it's a review. Some questionnaires, we're able to change some answers, and provide some additional documentation. So look for that in the next couple of days. But everything's moving ahead great. We're almost out of our assessment contract though, for our last 500,000. So we applied for a coalition grant with Lewis County. However, the EPA didn't award any coalition grants this year. So next year, come October, which is only a couple months, we'll be applying again for another assessment grant. Empire State Development, Manheim Infrastructure Grant Award, we received $500,000 working with the county towards the Manheim project. That'll help with the water tank down there. Turbo Machine Products, we completed their IDA project. We're helping them with a CDBG grant now for, I think it's 200 and something thousand, 225. Feldmeyer Equipment, there's a new project down there, the city of Little Falls. They'll be expanding their new facility on Riverside. And I'm hoping to convince them to rehab all their buildings on Mill Street. If they do not get the support that they need for housing, he's gonna make it all parks and take it off the tax rolls. So can you imagine those 12 to 14 structures that he has on Mill Street not being taxed anymore? It's just gonna be a park that he'll just donate to some not-for-profit or something, because he doesn't care. I'm convincing him that he should care and take those buildings. Colby's a great guy, by the way, to work with. He's got those buildings, he's got that warehouse. Could you imagine having a 1-floor apartment on the river with indoor parking in one of those warehouses? It would go in 5 minutes. Plus you have walkability to Ann Street, Deli, you have walkability to Mill. So we're just trying to see what we can do down there for that.
What's the problem?
Becoming a pro housing.
So that's the only thing that is preventing him from.
I don't think.
You said support with housing,
Yeah.
so what's the?
If you're not a pro housing community, there's about 80% of the grants that would be afforded him.
I guess I didn't even know he had a project going.
He just, well, when did we talk? 2 weeks ago? Yeah. 2 weeks ago, he said, no, and because he told us he got the Chobani contract to build all the tanks and wants to build them in Little Falls. So he's looking at I'm gonna say $13 to $15 million project along Riverside. Remember the last one he did? It's gonna be right attached to that. But then he's gonna walk away from that other building, and when I mean walk away, he'll tear it all down and put a park. That's a sad situation. So, we're hoping to have the DEC commissioner coming in the month of August. We have a lot of brownfield projects. We worked through Robert Smullen's office, and it seems like that could be going in a very positive direction. I'll keep everybody posted. We talked about the Dufold BCP program. We're working on the Remington one now as well. Met with the governor's office on that and getting those waived. We're not sure how many how many separate parcels we'll put into that program. We have a meeting Monday with everybody, the attorneys, and a pre-meeting, I think, tomorrow, but the big meeting with DEC will be the following Monday with the support of them and getting it into the BCP program. Probably dollar amounts that we should be able to see as far as credits go for that, up to $140 million. to help clean up that site. DRI Small Projects Fund, it was awarded for $600,000. The IDA will be the administrator of that. Dana right now is looking at getting 3 people on that committee, village residents, to help select the projects. The key is there might not be any work for the committee to do if we just get them in randomly. But when it gets into a competition, that's where the committee will come forward, but we'll see what happens there. We have an opportunity for a hotel, housing, and maybe even a small recreational venue happening soon. They put an offer in on some property. It was accepted. They're doing their due diligence now. As I can release more, I'll let people know about that. Northern Safety, there's an offer in on that building. That'll be another project for us. Quite a large company is looking at taking over that entire structure, so we'll be doing a pilot there. Northern Safety's building.
Yeah, did they say no? That's a big building.
He did. I'll tell you later. I
Is
know
it?
I'm not allowed to say
Okay.
in public. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. Quackenbush, believe it or not, very good developer, met with them. Couple things need to happen first. The basketball kid has to agree. A couple other things have to happen, but if this developer's known throughout the state, also had a conversation with Department of State with him yesterday about him. They like him a lot. He's done some great projects, similar to what we wanted to do 5-6 years ago. That would have been all done now, but that's okay. It's only thing constant in life, so I'll keep everybody up on that. Former ELG building in Frankfurt has been leased to a very good company. We'll see that project coming in shortly as well. They're part of the company from Dolgeville, so that one's looking very favorable. East Herkimer ELG wants to do something with the acreage that they have available. One of the issues that we found that there's a water easement right through the center of it. So not sure how we're going to deal with that one yet, but we've been doing some talk with them. Hanson Bridge in Little Falls, where Salatias has been closed again by the state. Not really sure why. It hasn't gone through a winter or any flooding. So we have not agreed to pay any additional funds for that one like we did the first time. I know that Chet and the mayor and Martin Judas are working on that right now. So they have to come back and say why, and they'll put the same system in, but nothing environmentally has changed. So we have to look into that again. I am in Chicago next week, all week, but if you need anything, of course, call or text. Fine. I'm going to stop. Oh, no. Well, what do you want? Oh, good. Schenectady, we have a Brownfield conference in next month, September. September. I'll be on a panel in that as well. College president who left our meeting, me and Jimmy met with her a couple weeks ago. Had a very good meeting, very pro-economic development, wants to be more involved. We're very excited about that. We are also hosting at the college with the chamber an economic development summit type day. Our 2 keynote speakers, it'll be September 23rd. Our 2 keynote speakers, one will be Jen Waters from GoSemi about the chip industry and Micron. And then the other will be Kristen O'Neill from Turin and about Remington Arms. Then on the panel, myself, Myron Thurston from Cornell, possibly Garrett Livermore. So we'll have a good round just to talk about Herkimer County.
That's all, John?
I know I should be doing more. Sorry. And to be honest with you, Nicole has come on very strong. It's been great working with her. We're very happy that she's here. We missed Jen.
None taken.
She's great. We know she's doing well at the location. Ben, how much more time do you have with us? A couple more weeks, and then she's back to college. So things are moving ahead this summer. I mean, we wanted to do a few more things this month too, or since Jen's been gone, but we just haven't. Victoria's spending a lot of time with Nicole, getting her ramped up, and I think that's going very well. So if you see any funky emails or something different, just cut us a little slack for a little bit of time. But I think we have everything under control, all the other things we're working on, all those other projects. Still have better communication about the very large solar project that's still moving ahead. You know, there's a lot, right?
Thank you very much. Our last item was, still an executive session for Eastern Multi Valley Water Line Project.
So one quick thing, so we can do, that'll only take like 5 minutes tops. But we need to go into the LBC meeting to also pass the MOU for Charleston. So if we could just go into exec real quick, or just to talk about that, if you don't mind.
Motion to go into executive session. Kim? I'll second that. Yeah, we're out. We're back here, regular meeting, I need a motion to adjourn.
Then we're gonna do the LBC.
10. I'll make the motion. Adjourn.
Hey, good.
Very good.
In that meeting, and then we open.
There's a lot of that.